Atherton, and they have a new coach, David Lloyd. Having defeated India in convincing fashion at Headingley and Old Trafford in the Texaco one-dayers, they've brought in 3 uncapped players for this, the first of the Cornhill Test matches. Essex all-rounder Ronnie Irani is called up, Kent's left-arm spinner Min Patel, born in India but schooled in England, and Alan Mullally, born in England and schooled in Australia. And very, very delighted to be playing his first Test match for England.
You know, I'm very honoured and I'm overjoyed. It hasn't sunk in yet. You know, you work hard. Everybody who plays cricket wants to play for their country and play Test cricket. So it's a dream come true.
It certainly is, and good luck to him. He's a very good young cricketer. Welcome to the highlights of the opening day's play of this Cornhill Test match at Edgbaston between England and India. The last time the two teams met in this country, England won a high-scoring series by 1-0. The captain then was Mohammad Azharuddin, and he's back in the same role this time. And Tony Lewis talked with him and with Michael Atherton at the toss.
Morning, Adolf. You win the toss?
Yeah, we won the toss, we're batting.
And what sort of a pitch do you see here today?
Well, I think we've got to really bat well in the first couple of hours. I think we'll do a little bit in the morning because of the freshness of the wicket and freshness of the grass as well.
Let's talk about your team not being quite in form. Has the weather been against you? Or?
Well, not really. I'm not complaining about the weather. I don't think we've played to our potential, but this is the time we've got to prove now. We've got 5 days to go.
And what about the balance of your attack?
Well, yeah, I think we've got 3 fast bowlers and 2 spinners. You know, we've always played spinners. But on the wicket, you know, which is dry, you know, it just prompted us to play 2 spinners.
Good. Best of luck.
Thanks,
Michael, good morning.
Hi, Tom.
Mike, you've got only 5 players who played in the last Test match. That seems almost a revolution.
We've brought in 1 or 2 young faces. We did for the Texaco games and things went well there, so we've not been shy of making changes.
And what about the pitch? You had a rough time here last time.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as bad as that. I hope not anyway. I think it'll be a pretty good pitch and, you know, I think I'd have batted as well.
And about the men left out, was that the difficult decision?
Yeah, once we decided to play a spinner, we wanted a 4th seamer with Ronnie Irani, so John was unlucky. It was a very difficult decision for Peter Martin because he did well in the winter for us, but we felt that the variety of a left armour, you know, would be useful for us.
So you're hoping to get off with a good win here?
Yeah, it's a 3 Test match series, so it's important to play well in the first Test. If you play poorly in a 3 Test match series, it makes things difficult, so we need to play well here.
And happy to be fielding?
I'd have preferred to have batted, but, you know, it's how you play, not whether you win the toss that counts, and if we bowl well this morning, there might be a bit in it.
Today's pitch hasn't previously been used in a Test match here at Edgbaston, and here's Geoffrey Boycott to tell us a little more about it.
Nice warm day for cricket. This is the reserve pitch. They've moved from the original Test pitch of last year, which was an awful pitch and finished very early. This is much better. You can see here there's little bits of grass, little tufts here, but nothing like last year. I think these little bits of grass and the cracks everywhere will mean that the ball will go through a bit and there'll be a bit in it for the bowlers early on. I think the batsman will just have to work hard. See, when he hits these tufts of grass, I think they'll get a bit of movement out of it with the new ball. The cracks are quite firm. I think they'll open as the match goes on, but all in all, a reasonable cricket pitch. Not the flattest for batting, but I think if you work hard, you can make runs. But I think early on, you'd like a little bowl.
Geoffrey Boycott with his report on the pitch here on the first morning at Edgbaston. And the 2 teams, England have made the 3 changes we mentioned earlier, the 3 capped players coming in now, Ronnie Irani, and then Min Patel and Alan Mullally. And India, 4 changes there, Rathore, Jadeja, Manjrekar, Tendulkar, Azharuddin, Mongia coming in a long way up the list. That does weaken the batting a little. Joshi, Kumble, Srinath, Prasad and Mumbre. So a job to do there for India. Just confirming that they won the toss and they are batting. The officials for this match, the 2 umpires out in the centre, David Shepherd and Darrell Hare. Darrell Hare from Australia, he's the international umpire for this game. And the 3rd umpire is Alan Jones. The match referee is Cammy Smith, the outstanding opening batsman from the West Indies all those years ago. We join play now with the 5th ball of the first over. Lewis is the bowler. He's coming in to bowl to Rathore. No runs on the board as yet.
Well, that's the length, I'm sure, that Chris Lewis should be trying. It's always going to be a nervous time for an opening batsman. The first Test of the series, first morning of that Test match. And that's an uncertain little shot outside the off stump from Rathore. First runs of the morning. Full toss. And a nice little bit of footwork. Dominic Cork down at long leg. Good throw comes in, but 3 runs. So Vikram Rator will be happy. He's off the mark. India off the mark. Rator keeps the strike. That's a good start. A no-ball call, but a good aggressive start by Dominic Cork. Darryl Hare, the umpire. Very well-directed bouncer. Has dropped in. Played away on the offside. That's Nasser Hussain at cover.
Well, this is a real sloppy shot, isn't it? Short of a length and just clips it to cover. A bad miss, that. Really is a bad miss, but what a sloppy shot for an opening batsman.
One can only assume that Nasser Hussain didn't quite pick it up clearly out of the background. That's got in, that's a good catch. Michael Atherton in the gully. The lowest chance, but nicely taken. Ajay Jadeja is the man out. India losing their first wicket with a score on just 8.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's right up there, fullish length, and this is a middle order shot. You see a little firm push, the face opens and it slides off to gully. That's not an opening batsman shot.
Well, disappointment for Jadeja. Nice for England, they've got off to the start they wanted. Number 3 for India is Sanjay Manjrekar, a rather more experienced batsman.
Nothing against Cork's bowling figures there. Came off the batsman's pad. And standing at the bowler's end, David Shepherd, more mature and robust figure than was the case during the World Cup. He needs to get himself onto a very good diet out there. Shed a stone or 2, but seems to be back to his fighting weight now. That's well played. It's a lovely square drive. He plays that stroke very well. We saw it up in the match up at Old Trafford, the last of the Texaco games.
A shot of the morning so far. Leaning into it nicely is Vikram Rathore, getting that front foot out and across. Head on top of the ball, nice and still. And 4 runs.
Good stroke. So no swing there for Malali. Bottom fielder. A bit of a problem there for Manjrekar.
Yes, he was looking to come back quickly for that 3rd run, and that's the time when he slipped and seems to have twisted his ankle. He's in quite a bit of pain out there.
Interesting footwork from Sanjay Manjrekar. Gets out there all right, but as soon as the shot is finished, all the problems start again with that twisted ankle and the pain too much for Manjrekar. Attended to only 5 minutes ago by the Indian physiotherapist, and that last shot brought him 4 runs, but has seen him decide to take the option to leave the field for more treatment. So that brings to the crease Sachin Tendulkar, the little maestro, India's finest batsman of this tour, finest for many a year. That's got in, that's a good catch. Dominic Cork making the most of this. And that's Vikram Rator who's out, caught at third slip. Not a very good shot, I'm afraid, by Rator, just guiding it really straight into the hands of Nick Knight. And no sooner has Mandraker left the field injured than Rator is going to join him in the dressing room. Caught Knight, bowled Cork for 20.
Well, he's looked vulnerable all morning, really. Flirted a few times and played and missed outside off stump. Once England had kept the ball up reasonably, he's looked as if he might get out. Got a little bit too short at times, but it's a nice catch. He's got great hands as Nick Knight.
So India then 41 for 2. Jadeja out for none. Rator for 20. Mandraker retired hurt with his score on 10. And so a lot of responsibility now lies with Sachin Tendulkar and his captain, Mohammad Azharuddin, making his way to the crease. That's a fine shot. No problems with that one. Just let the ball come to him, guided it square of the wicket. Very pleasant way to get off the mark. In the air, but very safe. Only because it's bisected the men at slip and gully. Travelled very quickly through the air, but not a very good shot. No real control from Mohammad Azharuddin. It's a fine shot. Just a fraction too short again. Hussain won't be able to catch it. And Mohammad Azharuddin, having taken his last 2 boundaries from the edge of the bat, now finds the middle.
Very well bowled, and it's frustrating business for a fast bowler to see the ball edged, though downwards, through the slip area and go for 4.
Well, again, a little bit of movement here late for Chris Lewis. Tendulkar getting the thickish outside edge for welcome runs for him.
Oh, what a great catch. Brilliant catch. Wonderful catch by Knight at mid-wicket. Because that was Azharuddin's strong shot. The wristy strokes through mid-wicket, and suddenly an England fieldsman throws himself to the left and takes a brilliant catch. Nick Knight is the man who's caught the catch.
Well, the fielder here should get more credit than the bowler, because this was a half volley on leg stump, clipped away by Mohammad Azharuddin and magnificently caught there by Nick Knight. Ronnie Irani won't mind that. It's his first over in Test cricket and his first wicket.
Absolutely brilliant. And the new batsman is Nayan Mongia. So Mandraker still nursing an injured ankle, twisted ankle in the pavilion. Wonderful shot. All timing, lovely straight bat, and it races away there to the boundary. 4 runs to Tendulkar.
Fine shot this by Tendulkar. Just hitting through the line, standing upright, and punching it. Timing it beautifully. It was just a push, but it raced away to the fence, giving the man at mid-off no chance.
There's a good attempt at Yorker.
Well, it was an attempted Yorker this, but finished up a full half volley. Mongia just whipping the hands through, closing the face, just knocking it off for 4 runs behind square.
Once again, Dominic Cork just straying around leg stump. Mongia is an accomplished middle order player and a good fighter. 89 for 3 at the end of the second over after lunch.
Well, that ball just came in a little bit to the right-hander. Got an inside edge a little bit luckily, but going for his favourite shot through the covers. But nice bowling by Mullally, just to bring it back a fraction with a little bit of bounce.
That's the one that goes the other way. That's the benefit of having a left-arm pace bowler. You can cut it away off the seam to the right-handers.
Well, this is probably the best ball he's bowled all day. 2 that went in and this one nipped away quickly off the seam.
Oh, he's done him beautifully. Dominic Cork has got through and has removed India's finest batsman. Sachin Tendulkar goes for 24. Might just have got an inside edge, but it was slanting in at him anyway. And wonderfully well bowled by Dominic Cork.
Well, that's a big wicket for England. Huge wicket. Any team that plays India, they're always looking for Tendulkar's wicket. It looked as if he was playing quite soundly, did Sachin Tendulkar, as if he was in control, and he just missed it. I don't think the ball really did anything at all. And you wouldn't expect a top-class batsman really to miss this sort of fullish length delivery.
Well, it looks all right to me. It looks as though it darted back between bat and pad and off stump. Beautifully bowled. Very high-class stuff there. In England to have 4 wickets now, 93 on the board. Mongia there on 12. But real problems for Mohammad Azharuddin's side.
Got.
Runs there for Mongia. He's a good attacking player, feisty little character, and he saved India on many occasions. He's got another job in front of him out there at the moment. And that brings up the 100 for India. Well, there's plenty of celebration out there. Tendulkar's gone, and now Mongia has been castled by Mullally, but one that looked from this angle as though it moved in the air and defeated him in the driving stroke. Mongia made 20, and India in complete disarray at the moment on a good batting pitch, 103 for 5.
Well, I'm not surprised they're in disarray with footwork like this. This is a pretty good ball pitched up. I've been saying they've got to pitch the ball up. But I mean, that footwork there, he's just slogging across the line. That's a very poor shot, and that's not to decry the first wicket by Alan Mullally. He's just started to bowl quite well from lunch.
Now Manjrekar is one of the 2 batsmen coming out there. Only one's going to take strike in the light-coloured helmet. That's Sanjay Manjrekar, who retired hurt earlier. And his runner is going to be Jadeja, who was the first man out today. It's caught Atherton bowled Lewis without scoring, so he has the chance of a little exercise out there.
Well, you may have twisted an ankle, but if you play like that, you can do it all in 4s. Overpitched, and that meant that Manjrekar in fact didn't have to make much ground with his front foot. Beautiful straight bat.
Again, not trying to hit it too hard, just getting the placement right, just hitting through the line. Just 4 runs once it beat the fielder in mid-off.
It's in the gap. There's a stray cheer there, and the ball races away for 4 runs. Good top edge, flying top edge. Could have gone anywhere, went for 4. Really frustrating for the bowler.
Well, they say when you flash, flash hard, and this is exactly what Manjrekar has done. He's given it his everything. He's got the top edge. Lucky to get that, and it's flown high over the slips. No chance there for the slip fielders.
Well, useful from Lewis, and Manjrekar probably taking his eye off that one. Down goes the head. Fends it off. Oh, what a brilliant catch by Mike Atherton. Off the full face, no doubt about that. The slashing square cut. But Atherton pounced at it. "23 runs to Manjrekar, and I think he may consider himself unlucky to be caught off that, but it was a wonderful catch.
Well, this one had the width, and Manjrekar has given it the kitchen sink, and Michael Atherton here has taken a magnificent reflex catch. That was travelling like a tracer bullet.
So 6 wicket goes down for 118, and the English catching really has been outstanding. The new batsman, Anil Kumble. That's a good shot. Very positive onto the front foot. But plenty of runs out there, there's no doubt about that. And England, if they get away to a start and bat as well as they can, could look forward to building up quite a big score.
Just short. Jack Russell did his best to get across. It had to be his if anyone was going to make it, as it wasn't going to carry to Graham Thorpe at first slip. Too much even for Jack Russell. That's a fine shot. Over pitched from Dominic Cork this time.
Yes, he's cross with himself because he's bowling aggressively and bowling well. He's putting the batsmen under pressure, and then he's given them an easy half volley.
That's nicely taken. Dominic Cork reverting to the shorter delivery. Kumble has already threatened to do that before. Plays that one with about well away from the body. And England's catching today has been excellent.
You can't fault England's cricket. They've been aggressive, they've caught the catches. Here again, what you can fault is some of the shot playing by the Indian batsmen. I mean, some of those slips have got really good hands. Anil Kumble caught night ball, caught 5, but again a poor shot away from his body, just pushing at it. Watch how he just pushes at that, and it's really the sort of thing that fielders practice before the start of a game.
Javagal Srinath is the new batsman. That's a firmer shot this time from Srinath. And a longer chase for Patel. The long legs of Ronnie Irani into the contest. Patel wins that race. Hey! And a bit of baseball being applied here. The ball being hurled from base to base. 4 runs, all run.
They have just carried there to Graham Hick. Srinath opening the face of the blade here. In fact, it did carry, but Hick a little slow to get there.
Pick up 4 for that. Javagal Srinath is the batsman. That did just carry to Graham Hick. It was on its way down, slanting down quickly just there. And he got his fingertips to it. It goes down as a mischance of Alan Mullally. That's good work from Jack Russell. They might just have thought about a second if it were to be the fielder coming in from long leg. And Russell cut him out of it. Ah, that's well done. That is a tremendous catch because he was half masked by Jack Russell. Russell did the right thing in going across, but how Thorpe caught it, I don't think we'll know till we have a look at the replay.
This is a superb catch by Graham Thorpe. Jack Russell diving across there, but Thorpe keeping his eyes on the ball and catching it inches from the ground. Going down to his right, and the 8th Indian wicket gone. Sunil Joshi out with 150 runs on the board after playing a neat little innings.
Membray's the new batsman coming out now, right-hander, making his Test match debut. That's a good shot. That's pretty much off the meat of the bat. It's arguable whether or not Irani is fast enough to drop one that short, but he had a go at it, and Srinath had a go at him. Maybe that Srinath has more confidence in his own batting than in that of Mumbrey, and he's taking full advantage of a couple of short deliveries.
A little bit of width here, and he flashes at this one hard, does Srinath.
That's a nice blow straight down the ground. Straight out for the tea interval, and takes Javagal Srinath into the 30s.
Well, he's shown that he's no mug with the bat. This is a juicy half volley, and he really gets stuck into it. Foot to the pitch, stands up and just belts through the line.
More runs for the total, and also for Srinath. Good stroke. Just as good as the one earlier in the over, which also went to the boundary. Lovely on drive from Srinath.
This ball was just swinging away from him, and he's trying to hit it a little bit straight, which is at least better than trying to work it to the onside. That's why he lost his grip.
Good shot. Mumbray's full of confidence. Always nice if you're playing in your first Test match and the chap at the other end's a bowling partner and he's making runs. Just giving that something. It's a very good shot from Srinat.
Yes, he seems to like the ball that's drifting onto his legs, whether it's fast or slow. This ball just drifting into leg and middle, you see, and he gets some right hand into it. That's better. Not as easy to drag the ball from there. Obviously got an inside edge, which is going to bring up Trinidad's 50. Of course, from this small crowd, but you see, it's hard to drag it from there. Inside edge. Slice of luck for Srinath. Maybe he's deserved it because he's played splendidly. That's a splendid shot. 50 partnership comes up, and the 200.
Well, that's out. There we are. He played just a little bit outside his limitations, attempting a terrific hook shot from a ball that was rising. Pitch short, well bowled by Mullally, but superbly taken by Jack Russell. Just melted into the gloves. And Javagal Srinath goes the 9th wicket down for 203, but an excellent half century by him. It almost came along the back of the bat. He completed the shot early.
And Venkatesh Prasad comes out to take guard in his first test match.
Thumped through extra cover. And it's just got the legs. That's the ball. Mike Atherton not quite with the legs to catch it. That's all over, just guided straight into the hands of Graham Thorpe at first slip. Nice comfortable chance for him. Dominic Cork coming back into the attack there to replace Alan Mullally and striking straight away. Paras Mambre is the man out, caught by Graham Thorpe at first slip. Once again, an Indian batsman really just doing no more than providing orthodox catching practice for the England slips fielders.
Well, that splendid partnership between Srinath and Mambre did the trick for India and got them up past the 200 mark, but in all it was a disappointing performance. All those top batsmen there getting to a top figure of 24 for Tendulkar. The others got a start and then weren't able to capitalise on it. The bowling figures for England, I thought they did a terrific job. Lewis 2 for 44 in what was something of a comeback match in Test cricket for him. Cork, who is the best bowler in England at the moment, 4 for 61. He just confirmed that rating. Mullally making his debut, 22 overs, 7 maidens, 3 for 60. Irani, 7 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 22. That's a nice debut, picking up the wicket of the Indian captain. Patel was sparsely used, 2 overs, no maiden, and no wicket for 14. We join the England reply now. Srinath is the bowler. Knight is taking strike. It's the first ball of the England innings.
First runs on the board straight away.
It's quite an authentic stroke. It wasn't an edge. More or less guided down through that gap there in the slip and gully cordon.
Venkatesh Prasad has troubled Michael Atherton, dismissed him twice in the one-day games. To deliveries similar to that.
Good play. And good tactics too. Just to get at Kumble. Classic stroke. Wasn't all that bad a bouncer, and Atherton was on it like a flash. Half century up for England, no loss. Good stroke play out there. Oh dear. When things go bad, they go bad. 4 more added to take the final score along to 60 for no wicket. A very good performance from Knight and Atherton. 31 for Atherton, 27 for Knight. And Atherton has had an excellent day. Captained the side well in the field. Made good bowling changes. And there he is leading the way with an unbeaten 31. 60 for no wicket. And the bowling figures for India. They took some stick except for Prasad, who looked very, very impressive once again. 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 7. So at the end of the first day, that's the way it looks. India 214. The bowlers we went through earlier, and Srinath the top score with 52. And England just 154 runs behind at the moment. And with their ideas on the day's play, in our Geoffrey Boycott, and along with his ideas on the way the pitch might play on the second day of this Cornhill Test match, we join it now with Srinath bowling tonight. It's the first over of the day, no addition to the overnight score. Javagal Srinath has picked up the first wicket of the England innings. Nick Knight has gone. That is precisely the breakthrough India wanted. Mohammad Azharuddin was in there congratulating the keeper and the bowler almost before you could blink. Nick Knight didn't add to his score, 27 and 48 balls faced.
Just what India needed after a poor day yesterday. A breakthrough first thing, and here a lovely delivery from Srinath, making the left-hander play, leaving him, and Nayan Mongia making no mistake. A delighted Javagal Srinath.
Coming out to bat at number 3 is Nasser Hussain. That's just the sort of heart starter a fielding side needs when they've made only 214. Said was a rueful smile. Don't get too many of those from fast bowlers. It's well bowled. Not far away, but just a missed leg stump, but it's well bowled once again.
Oh, that's a good ball, a good shout, and just maybe got outside off stump.
Yeah, he jumped at the last minute and got outside, but the ball kept a bit low on him. It sort of hurried on, scurried at him, hit him before he was quite ready for it. You see here, he just gets himself outside. It's about the knee roll.
Well, 4 more. 4 byes, and that comes as a bit of a bonus for England, because in all the time so far, we've played for 41 minutes now. Only 6 runs have been scored. But add that 4, so that's 10 runs in the morning session so far.
There you are. Out.
Out. Caught him. Beautifully bowled. Got it in the right slot. And Rathore is the catcher at second slip. And Michael Atherton goes. 72 for 2. Atherton caught Rathore at second slip. Bulmambre for 33.
Piece of cake, this bowling, isn't it? If you just put the batsman under pressure, bowl the ball in the right spot, just wobble it a little bit here. You see, watch it wobble. It's right in the slot, just outside off stump. Tempts him into the drive because he's been under pressure. He's had no run scoring balls this morning, and he's made a mistake.
Graham Thorpe is the incoming batsman. This is always a positive help to have a right-hander batting with a left-hander. So now Mombre, the bowler, has to adjust his line, try and find Thorpe's off stump. Well, this will be interesting to see if any in-swing can be produced into the left-hander from outside the off stump. And the answer is yes. Gets Thorpe off the mark, and the next question is, will Azharuddin move a fielder across to the leg side, maybe in a short catching position? Well, we predicted the problem of line. Well, we're having a good over predictions here, but it is a classical problem for the bowler, even more experienced than Nombre, to be bowling to a right-hander one moment, the next moment to a left-hander, and to get the right line.
Well, he bowls this here and then he kicks the earth in disgust with himself. He's really angry, look. He knows he shouldn't be giving him anything on his legs. It's too easy at this level. Any player who can't play off his legs at this level shouldn't be here. It's bread and butter stuff, is that?
Well, now, I couldn't ever have foreseen this, that to counter that, he's now going to bowl round the wicket. Exciting over this, including a no ball and a bye. 8 runs have come, and the wicket of Michael Atherton. But down the leg side again, and that was always the danger. Going round the wicket, slanting across, swinging further. 4 byes. Really can't see the cricket sense in that.
Well, a good wicket and then 3 balls which are rubbish, really. Just taking all the pressure and all the good work that the Indian 2 opening bowlers have done this morning. He's just taking it off the batsman.
He hooks at it. It's gone in the air. Oh, just short. Frustrating for India. Escape for England. Frustration for Srinath, the bowler.
Well, it's not only a poor shot because he didn't hit it where he wanted it to go. He got a top edge and it flew up there, and he was lucky it fell in between the short leg and the man back on the boundary. But it was poor thinking, really, because Srinath just about finished his spell. He's bowled really well this morning, and when somebody's bowling well in Test match cricket, you want to see him off.
Well, it's a good stroke. The ball was rather short and wide and plays to Hussein's strength. He likes that shot we've described, just opening the face and giving it a push square on the offside. Too short.
Yes, it was short of a length, and he just rides it, you see. He just lets the face open and just rides the ball coming to him. Just an easy shot for him.
Oh, it's in the air. It's high in the sky. Dropped. And 4. Or is it 6? And we're calling for a third umpire's view of that.
Well, in the end, he actually dropped it when it was going for 6. Yeah, we see him coming here to his left, but he actually went to his right first, and so he lost a bit of time. He thinks he's much nearer the line than he is.
Well, 6 has been given. Beautiful stroke. Thrashed that away. And I think that is a real sign that Srinath has had enough now. It'd be nice to bring him back a bit later, freshened up. Slanting the ball across, and that's right where Graham Thorpe enjoys it. Well, that is 4 runs. Played nicely down along the ground. 4 runs to Hussain, and the 100 comes up. It's 103 for 2.
Big shout. Darrell Hare shakes his head. Devagal Srinath cannot believe it.
He's not happy at all, Srinath, because he definitely thinks here that Hussain has got a glove onto it. And by the look of that, he might just be right. Hussain might just be lucky to be still there.
got him. That's beautifully bowled. Srinath has been on from the start of play at this member's end, and he has done it again for Azharuddin. Brilliant stuff.
Srinath was signalling to Azharuddin. He wanted one more over at Thorpe, and he's got him. It hit the pad. I think you'll notice it just comes in, beats Thorpe on the inside, hits the pad, and then cannons onto the stumps. Inside edge onto the pad. Got something on it, but not enough. That's a big wicket, because Manbury wasn't comfortable bowling at the left-hander, Graham Thorpe. He's been in good touch this summer as well. Nice applause for Graham Hick, the new batsman. Comes from just up the road at Worcestershire.
Oh, well. A big good over. And what a good morning's cricket. Not all that many runs made, but it's been exciting stuff.
Yes, you get the impression that Nasser Hussain's just getting a little bit frustrated. The runs that he's made this morning, all of 15, have been very, very hard to come by.
And there's a very strong hooker and puller. That's good evidence of it.
Well, the first ball caught Nasser Hussain a little bit by surprise and was fairly sharp. This one, he was half looking for it, and it just sat up sort of like a lollipop. It was no real pace at all. And Nasser had plenty of time to smack that in front of square leg.
Wonderful way to start the session off after lunch. Nice juicy half volley from Paris Mambre, and very nicely put away by Nasser Hussain. That's a better shot than the first one. Through extra cover this time. Again, just a beautiful example of timing. Nasser Hussain nicely balanced for that shot. And Paris Mambre just paying for the error of length. That's a fine shot from Graham Hick. That's beaten the despairing dive. Very deft indeed from Nasser Hussain. That late cut, beautifully played.
Now this is a classy shot from Hussain. Never easy to play. Look how he waits on the delivery and very last minute damps down on it. The man at shot third, Jadeja, is only chasing in vain.
That's just guided away nice and fine. That's going to race down to the boundary. That's in fact the second boundary in this over for Nasser Hussain.
But, well, he struggled with his line right through this game, Anil Kumble. Here again, straying down leg stump.
That's through the offside. Very powerfully struck by Graham Hick. Just enough width from the bowler. Just a nice height actually for hitting too. That was just what he wanted.
Yes, one of Graham Hick's favourite shots, the square cut. Here he comes down on it nicely and gets the placement as well.
Beautifully struck. Nasser Hussain has been in cracking form since lunch. Anything at all loose, he's hammered away for four. Just look at this.
Well, Kumble giving this one a little more air, but Nasser Hussain has climbed into that one and smashed it through the covers.
That's high in the air, straight down towards long leg. Mambre is there and takes the catch. That's good bowling from Prasad. That advice from Srinath has paid off. And after a couple of deliveries pitched well up, a full length, Graham Hick really falls for that one.
A well-directed bouncer this from Venkatesh Prasad. He's out-thought Graham Hick. In no position to play that shot, gets the top edge, and Paras Mamre at fine leg taking a fine catch. It was high in the air, he kept his eyes on the ball and took it comfortably in the end. So big wicket this for India.
England now then 149 for 4. Graham Hick made just 8 in 29 deliveries. Well bowled. That Yorker has been good enough to undo a lot of batsmen over the last couple of years, both in county cricket last summer for Northants and in Test cricket. Good pace, that delivery.
Meet of the bat. Fairly whistled away to the boundary. It's also a long half volley wide of the off stump. Probably got the treatment it deserved. That's another good shot for 4. Well, Prasad can continue to work on him there, knowing that he's strong, and take his chance, finding the outside edge. Or he might have to switch his direction a little. And 4 more. Good strokes. Doing nothing at all edgy about those 2 lovely cover drives, and then the flick that seemed to come right off the middle of the bat down to long leg. Oh, just going away to the leg side, I suspect. Not by much, and it zipped off. Beat Hussain on the backstroke. Well, any time you can see off stump and a bit of middle, you can reckon it may well be going to miss leg. Beautifully played. That's 2 great shots he's played. It's the sort of stroke I haven't seen for a long time, where one foot, the back foot, is more or less firm-footed. And there's a lovely swing of the bat. Back foot stays there, left foot comes up. Well, you're lucky if you saw it on its way to the boundary. Went so fast. Been some great timing out there from both these players.
And that's a 50 for Hussain. He really has played well. It's not easy at all to recommence an international career. You have to graft away until the self-doubt is removed. He'll know that the job is only half done, but it certainly has been a very good innings, very competent. Cracking shot. Imperious sort of stroke. Well, what maturity. You're going to bowl there, I'm sorry, but it's got to go.
Well, this is an arrogant shot from Ronnie Irani. He's just picked that one up from middle and leg stump and smashed it through mid-wicket.
Oh, well bowled, and it's out. Super delivery, really climbed, and Srinath really has produced that from nothing again. It's been a wonderful performance, but it's also been a most encouraging performance for Ronnie Irani. Understandably disappointed. Well, he was batting like a king, and suddenly an extra special delivery, I think, just nicked the glove.
Yes, it climbed on him, this one, and an extra bit of bounce actually doing him in the end, taking the glove, and Ronnie Irani in fact walking even before the umpire had given the decision. And important wicket this for India, because he was looking dangerous and good.
There's Jack Russell under that heavy disguise. I'd be tempted if I Kumble to put a short square leg in there. Nasser Hussain is playing outside the line, really. He's letting the ball go onto the pad. When he's not striking the ball to the covers for 4. And the 200 comes up.
Well, we've seen that shot on quite a few occasions after lunch, the cover drive from Nasser Hussain. And the result again the same. This one again hit on the up, but lovely follow through and 4 more runs.
And Prasad walks down the pitch there to take a much closer look at Russell, just to see if he can really believe what's happening to him.
But he certainly isn't amused.
Well, he bowls. Jack Russell plays no shot, looks down the pitch. Prasad walks straight down the pitch to take a very close look.
He's played that well enough as well. That's nicely kept down. There are 2 men out there in the deep in case there's a top edge or an uppish hook shot, but that was all okay for Nasser Hussain.
The rest of the shots he's pulled, he's hit them in the middle of the bat, played them down, he's been in control. We've all got out to the odd hook shot, haven't we, Dave? We've all played one of those falsely. Me as well. And
well, some play more than others, don't they?
Yeah, you seem to pick out the man regularly. I couldn't help that.
Well, we've got to start talking statistics. Oh, well bowled. Perfect Yorker from Venkatesh Prasad. It's been something of a contest between Prasad and Russell. Russell leaving alone probably 95% of the deliveries that Prasad has offered him. Certainly couldn't afford to leave that one alone. That was beautifully directed, right up in the block hole. As good a Yorker as you'll see.
He's never looked as if he's quite been with it today, Jack. I mean, he probably got an inside edge there, but he was beaten really all ends up. Chris Lewis, the new batsman. Now, he's like Ronnie Irani, a fairly positive player. I like to see him play positively. You get to this stage of the innings, I think the lower order players, unless you are an out-and-out blocker, I think you might as well look to put back to ball.
He's got him first ball. It's another juggling catch. But Chris Lewis there, into the shot from the first delivery, a little bit away from the body. That's a big disappointment for him. Vikram Rathore eventually did make the catch as early in the day, taking a couple of attempts just to make sure it stayed above ground. But 205 for 6 quickly becomes 205 for 7.
Well, my impression was that the ball was a little bit wide. He could have left it alone and had a look at the first few deliveries. I mean, no need to really go after that. He got forward with the foot, but it never got much down the pitch. And as you can expect, your first ball you receive, you're never going to get your feet in the right place exactly. This was a little bit too positive, too soon.
All that, of course, leaves Venkatesh Prasad on a hat-trick in his first Test match. 2 in 2 balls. 1 earlier in the day, so he's got 3 wickets in the day. And the man who is going to be facing him is the man who did the hat-trick for England only last year at Manchester in the Test match against the West Indies.
I'm told by our scorers here, David, no Indians ever got a hat-trick in a Test match.
Well, they're asking for it. There's certainly bat on it. There was pad on it. The only decision, it's a wee bit optimistic. It's well bowled, but optimistic. The decision for Darrell Hare was maybe to offer pad in front of the bat, as it were. Well played, well placed. Just too short again from Anil Kumble. He's had an up and down sort of day, Kumble. But Nasser Hussain seems to have got better and better. That's a comfortable catch. Dominic Cork is the man out. And it seems that the mistakes that the Indian batsman made yesterday are being copied again today by the home side.
Well, I thought that was a beautiful delivery. Just offers to swing out. He's forced Cork on the back foot. A couple of deliveries. Even got hit off the back foot. Well, a good shot by Cork, but then he's thrown this one right up. You watch just at the end. Just offers to swing out. It tempts Cork to keep on going after it. And by the time he strikes the ball, it's a bit too wide. Beautifully bowled.
Dominic Cork is gone for 4. Min Patel. Three wickets to Javagal Srinath, 3 for 69. 4 wickets now to Prasad. Now that could just split the two of them. It needn't have done. Paris Mambre is the man having trouble at long leg. Four more runs. Oh, great shot. Absolutely no need at all to run for that one.
Well, he's had a hard-working day as Nasser Hussain, and with the tail ender in, he's having to look to be positive to score runs because he's frightened that Min Patel will get out fairly quickly as a non-specialist batsman.
They'd be happy enough with 2. And the end of the over. Even though Srinath appeared to take some of the pace off it, it was so well hit that it still went to the boundary. There's a man out there trying to save the boundary, but he's given no chance with that splendid stroke. He's played that very well throughout this innings.
Well, again, this one not bouncing as much as he expected, but getting nicely on top of it and hitting it down into the turf.
And there's 4 more, no third man. The outside edge from Min Patel's bat.
Well, these are welcome runs for England. Again, this one bouncing a bit, but nicely played by Patel, getting his bottom hand off the bat.
Oh, shot. Hussain has plenty of confidence in Min Patel. He's taken 2 there, last ball of the over, so it'll leave Patel to face the strike. And the 250 comes up for England. Now that's another recovery. We've had 2 days of excellent cricket where recovery has been the key word.
That's a lovely stroke. Beautiful stroke. Any batsman in the first 5 would be really pleased with that. The classical shot, wide a bit on.
I'm just laughing there, just saying he's a tail ender who you don't expect to play well, and he plays an absolutely gorgeous shot here. Took it from about middle and off. And he hit it right slap bang in the middle of the bat and in the gap.
England's lead now 50 runs. And that must be close. That's out. It's LBW. Min Patel's fine little innings comes to an end, and Kumble at last gets a wicket. The one that hurried on skidded onto the pads. The 9th wicket falls. That was a good innings. Played some very nice shots, very corrected defence, and a partnership of 47. Most useful contribution to England's effort.
It's absolutely plumb. Knee roll right in front. I don't think there's much doubt about that from anybody. But he really did bat well, showed a lot of character. And if the new batsman Alan Mullally can do the same, he might just be able to stay there while England's lead is increased, and also while Nasser Hussain manages to get that priceless and deserved century. I think he's played splendidly today.
It's always very nice for the batsman to make that 100, but of course the interest of the side come first. And every run now, very, very precious to England.
Well, I think if Srinath bowls short, Nasser Hussain is going to take the opportunity to try and take a boundary off him somehow. Even if he gets an edge or a glove and gets out, he's got to look for something. It's always an awkward situation. Hussein's going to be looking for runs. He doesn't want to get out. Doesn't want to be over-aggressive.
That's just what he wanted. Racing away.
That's playing to Hussein's strength, really. And that's not very smart bowling.
Well, that's going to get one. Take him on to 99. And just one more ball again to sweat it out at the non-striker's end. The field will come all round, the close fielders will come all round Alan Mullally now for this one remaining ball of this over. Not quite close enough. So a good over from Anil Kumble nonetheless. And the crowd sensing that now here is the chance that Nasser Hussain will have to make his maiden Test match 100. That'll do nicely. Nasser Hussain has his maiden Test match 100. Well, it's been a really fine innings by Nasser Hussain, taking on that position at number 3, where so many have failed for England in recent years. Undaunted by that prospect, he really had to battle through the early part of the innings against some very good Indian bowling this morning, and patience has paid off. That's a wonderful innings for Nasser Hussain. Beautifully struck, well in front of square leg. That's 6 runs. Well, that really flew off the bat. It was an effortless shot, just the timing of it carried the ball over that fairly deep mid-wicket boundary. Well, that's hoisted away by Mullally now. One bounce just short of the rope. And this is aggravation now for Srinath. He doesn't really deserve this after the efforts he's put in. But when you're tired and the ball doesn't come out with the same sort of pace, Even Alan Mullally, it seems, is going to get bat on ball. None really any better than that one.
Well, this was textbook and elegant. This is serious proportions for India now, the lead for England.
Well, I think that goes down as a drop, judging by the reaction of Venkat Prasad. That would have been a little bit of a strangled wicket. Just to tie things up. Yeah, it looks like a thickish edge, and well, Nayan Mongia had got there, he'd done the hard work. He'd made ground well down the leg side, and for a good keeper, that's a surprising lapse. Beautifully played again. This one is going to run down to the boundary at third man. Another use of that deft late cut by Nasser Hussain. And the 4 runs bringing up the 300.
God.
Well, the field is set deep. But if you still place the ball right and time the ball right, there are still 4 runs available. Four runs. Real economy of effort from Mullally. Nonchalant stuff.
I'm just wondering if he's in his right position, number 11.
Now that's high in the air and taken. Rahul Dravid is the 12th man who is positioned out at deep square leg, and it brings to an end a very, very fine innings indeed by Nasser Hussain. That's been the outstanding performance really of the match so far. Under these conditions, 128 runs out of a total of 313. A wonderful return to Test cricket for Nasser Hussain.
It certainly was. He played a delightful knockout there, and also a little gem of an innings from Ronnie Irani there. That partnership between Nasser Hussain and Irani got England back on track, and then eventually with the 2 partnerships involving Patel and Mullally at the end, it allowed them to get up to 313. Now the bowling figures for India, it tells a story. Srinath 28.2, Prasad 28, India 214 and 5 for no wicket. England 313, a wonderful recovery there due to Nasser Hussain 128, and that wonderful little innings from Ronnie Irani, that did a lot to make the England total in the end 313. 2 great bowling performances from India. Prasad 4 for 71 in his debut Test match, and Srinath 4 for 103. Geoffrey Boycott with his pitch report on the 3rd day, and it meant that Chris Lewis still had 4 balls to bowl to complete the over which stopped yesterday with bad light and rain. We join it now with the first ball of the over proper from Cork, and he's bowling to Vikram Rathore. Well, for a moment, there's hesitation there. Jadeja seemed a fraction slow to move at the non-striker's end. Rathore hesitated, just half a stride.
Yes, the last thing the Indians would want is to lose a wicket by way of a run out. The calling has to be decisive, it has to be clear and quick.
And there it is. It's off the mark in the 2nd innings, and that will be a big relief for him. I didn't get half a smile out of him. Well, I don't think he got half a smile from Dominic Cork.
He certainly didn't, because this one takes the outside edge and goes between the gap, between third slip and gully. But that should do Jadeja's confidence a world of good.
Oh, well caught. That's a good catch. He's going to wait to ask, and it's given reference to the square leg umpire. David Shepherd has said yes. The umpire at the bowler's end, Darrell Hare, with the ball going straight to ground, has asked for adjudication from square leg. The answer is it was out, and the first wicket goes down.
This is a very good catch by Graham Hick. This was going down, and Hick moving forward, going to his left and coming up with the ball inches from the ground. So big wicket this for England. India losing a wicket early in the day. Nayan Mongia, the new man in, he's promoted in the batting order because of the injury to Sanjay Manjrekar.
But something else to show you now. A super slow motion shot. Same ball, same catch. Or was it? Very, very good fielding.
Stop from Min Patel. Comes in very quickly here, as you'll see. Important thing to see here is how quickly he gets rid of the ball. All in one action.
Life's not easy for the Indian team at the moment because Manjrekar has that injured ankle. Joshi, the fractured finger. That's the reason Mongi has been pushed up for number 3. Well bowled by Chris Lewis. Just about the perfect delivery. Had the batsman coming forward, forced him to play at it, couldn't have allowed it to go, and he's got enough movement to find the outside edge.
Well, that's the length we were talking about earlier, making him play off the front foot, getting the ball to leave the mat, and a beautiful delivery. Jack Russell making no mistake, and Ajay Jadeja failing for the second time in the game. India in dire straits at the moment, losing 2 wickets this morning.
Now the side of Tendulkar at the other end should inspire Lewis to bowl a yard quicker.
That's kept low. The bounce this morning has been largely pretty good, actually. We saw some extravagant changes in the bounce through really the whole day's play yesterday. Well, that's hurt. Shortish man is Nayan Mongia, and any little extra bounce is going to wrap him as that one has on the fingers. Believe you me, that's a recurrent and always painful little injury. Chris Lewis trying the Yorker, trying to get that one right up in the block hole. Only takes a little deviation off course, and we're talking about 3 or 4 inches here. And instead of a block hole Yorker, it's one of these, just angled slightly towards the leg side, and 4 runs. Well, that's come through on the inside of Tendulkar's bat.
Get a ball like that that cuts you in half and you get out to it, there's nothing you can do. That's just a magic delivery, is that?
Well, that's gone down. That was a wonderful delivery from Dominic Cork, which Nayan Mongia couldn't keep down.
Well, this is a difficult ball. It's on off stump, bounces. He's trying to get behind it, but should have been caught actually. Made a lot of ground, but it would have gone to first slip, I think.
Oh, well caught. Flashed away towards the gully. That's Nasser Hussain, who is building on that wonderful innings yesterday, taking a super catch. Probably deserves more applause than that.
Well, I thought it was a wonderful catch, but it was smart bowling as well. He's been bowling just short of a length and making it difficult for Mongier, and then he just threw this one up. So it right up there, just tempting him, and he's trying to drive it off the back foot. He never really got forward. And that's what I say about the Indian, most of the Indian batsmen. They hold the concentration together only for a short while.
And Mohammad Azharuddin once again joins Sachin Tendulkar with his side in deep trouble.
Oops, over they go. And England get their revenge. Full length, on leg stump, moved across too far, aimed to play the ball much too finely, and he's bowled Mullally for naught. 36 for 4.
Well, this is a kind of dismissal you don't see quite often in Test cricket. Batsman being bowled round his legs. Here, Mohammad Azharuddin walking across his stumps, leaving his leg stump open. The ball sneaking through and hitting the leg stump. A delighted Alan Mullally picking up a wicket in his first over.
Looked a straight ball, pitching just outside leg stump. And England are really on their way now. 36 for 4.
Sunil Joshi, the new man in, and he's come out despite a broken finger.
Oh, it's out. Big shout. Up goes the finger. And Joshi goes. Well taken by Jack Russell on the move. It was just interesting to see which edge of the bat that caught, because Russell was moving back down the leg side to take it.
Definitely must have taken the inner edge, but there again Joshi making the mistake of not allowing the ball to come onto the bat, feeling for it. Good delivery here from Alan Mullally, getting a little bit of extra bounce, and there you see, playing with the bat a long way away from his body, getting the inner edge, and Jack Russell making no mistakes. India losing their 5th wicket with only 68 runs on the board.
Man in the light blue helmet is the man who injured his right ankle. You see him limping there, Sanjay Manjrekar. And his runner will be Jadeja. So now I think it's fair to say India are in some disarray. On the other hand, Sachin Tendulkar is making the game look particularly easy.
That'll be heartening for Manjrekar. A nice stroke off his toes. Got right in behind that. That's the awkward ball for him. And Mullally was trying to york him just a little bit too short. No ball call there from umpire Shepherd. 100 up. A delivery, also going away from the right-hander, and he struck it magnificently off the back foot.
That's nicely played. Nasser Hussain played 2 lovely late cuts yesterday afternoon off Anil Kumble. The Indian batsman, traditionally more comfortable, very used to playing spin bowling. It's very much part of the repertoire of most Indian batsmen. It's a delicate shot. This needs close attention. Well, that's a rare aggressive blow from Sanjay Manjrekar today, but he's found the gap. A strong ring of catching fielders on the offside there. He managed to get it through them all.
Yeah, Chris Lewis has used the crease quite a lot today, going wide sometimes. He's wide on this delivery.
That's out. A fast and furious short ball, brilliantly bowled by Chris Lewis. And this sterling effort from Manjrekar, full of good patience and temperament and real fight, has come to an end.
Well, this is a very good short delivery. This is how a short delivery must be. Making the batsman play, climbing on Manjrekar, taking the glove straight to Nick Knight at third slip. A simple catch, but an important wicket gone for India because he was doing the job.
Anil Kumble is the new batsman. Fast. That was a good shot, over pitched, and that's 4 runs. Fine shot by Kumble, but still the point about Lewis is valid, that he's kept his pace up and he's been very aggressive.
Lovely piece of timing here from Anil Kumble. Look how he leans into that shot. Doesn't hit it too hard, just strokes it. Really races to that point fence.
Sends him back. He's got to be out. Oh, that's bad news for India. Wonderful news for England. Kumble and Tendulkar, such a wonderful pair. The understanding perfect. And looked for all the world, to be fair to Kumble, as if there was a one there.
Well, the last thing India needed at this stage was a misunderstanding, causing a run out, and that's exactly what happens here. The moment he plays it, Kumble is pretty certain he wants a single and keeps going, with Nick Knight here doing a very good job. A good throw on the run to Graham Hick, who whips off the bails, and Kumble cannot make his ground. A most unfortunate dismissal.
185 for 7. Well, the new batsman is Srinath. Can he too forge an important partnership with Tendulkar? Chris Lewis, the bowler.
Oh, that's gone. That's a low blow. Nothing Srinath could do about that, I don't think. He was expecting the ball to be up round about his waist from the position in which it pitched. Once it hit the ground, it just scudded along, and there have been better batsmen than Srinath go to that. Paris Membray is the number 10 batsman. Oh, shot. That was such a good stroke with the wrist breaking just at the moment of contact, and somehow he got it to the left hand of cover.
Prized his cross. He feels he was playing so well, and he was trying to score runs with number 10 at the wicket, trying to farm the bowling, and I think he feels deep down that that got him out. Excellent innings, top-class performance.
208 for 9 now. New batsman is Venkat Prasad, so 10 and 11 are in. Mumbrey on 4. Oh, good shot. And quite a good debut match for Paris Mumbrey. He's made 15 in this innings and shared a good partnership in the first. But no more. Very good slower ball. He's had another go at it, but it's not going to solve the problem, which is ash everywhere. Mumbrey, bowled by Lewis. Nice change of pace. Good cricket. 5 for Lewis. It's quite a remarkable scorecard, with Sachin Tendulkar making 64% of the runs while he was at the crease, 122 out of 191, and the next top score 18 from the injured Manjrekar. Joshi also injured, making 12, and 2 other double-figure scores. Nothing really to write home to India about there. 219 all out, and the bowling figures, very good work from Lewis, who's had a good comeback match with the ball. 5 for 72 from 22.4 overs and 6 maidens. Dominic Cork 2 for 40, he's in there again with wickets. And Alan Mullally 2 for 43, and 2 valuable wickets they were also. Irani, Patel and Hick, 14 overs between them and 51 runs taken from them. That's the way it finished at the end of the Indian innings. England needing 121 for victory. And we're going to join play now in the second over of their chase. Prasad is the bowler. Michael Atherton is taking strike.
Inside edge, onto a bit of boot and pad. That ball looked for a moment as though it might run perilously close to the stumps. Well, that's going to race away down towards third man. No one down there, of course. The outside edge dropping short of the slips cordon. Well, that was through the gap. It was actually at catchable height. I wouldn't say Nick Knight was in full control of the shot. Nonetheless, it's 4 runs.
Yes, LBW. Prasad has gone up. Knight has gone to the pavilion. It looked as though, from the position we are here, that it cut back at Nick Knight.
Well, you'll see here he does that. He wraps his fingers around the ball. He bowls this magnificently. Pitches on, and he comes back into the left-hander. You can see here the height. Even though he's on his tiptoe, well, probably would have hit the top of the stumps. That brings the Centurion in, Nasser Hussain.
37 for 1 now. Right where he left off in the first innings. A magnificent shot from Nasser Hussain. Oh, kept low. Didn't quite run along the ground, but
well, I don't know how you play this sort of delivery. In great difficulty, I think. I think the umpire is probably about the only one that thinks Michael Atherton got outside off stump. If it was, and if he did, it's marginal.
Nasser Hussain back into that same fluent form that he showed in the first innings. He's got himself into nice positions, doesn't he?
Nasser Hussain and Michael Atherton stayed there until the close of play, which was 73 for 1. The man out, Nick Knight, LBW to Prasad for 14, a good one that cut back at him. Atherton on 29 and Hussain on 18, continuing the very good form he showed in the first innings. The bowling figures for India, the 2 tired men there, Srinath and Prasad. They worked very hard out there. Prasad 1 for 35 and Srinath none for 18, but they expended most of their energy yesterday, and that was no surprise. They were a little deflated today. Kumble 5 overs, 3 maidens, none for 9. Looked to me to be bowling better today. He's not very far off being in excellent form with the ball, but it is a very, very fine line whether you bowl well or not quite so well. That's the way it was at the close of play. England needing 48 more runs to win. That shouldn't be a problem with a good forecast there tomorrow.
Nasser Hussain back into that same fluent form that he showed in the first innings. He's got himself into nice positions, doesn't he?
Nasser Hussain and Michael Atherton stayed there until the close of play, which was 73 for 1. The man out, Nick Knight, LBW to Prasad for 14, a good one that cut back at him. Atherton on 29 and Hussain on 18, continuing the very good form he showed in the first innings. Now the bowling figures for India, the two tired men there, Srinath and Prasad, they worked very hard out there. Prasad 1 for 35 and Srinath none for 18, but they expended most of their energy yesterday, and it was no surprise they were a little deflated today. Kumble 5 overs, 3 maidens, none for 9. Looked to me to be bowling better today. He's not very far off being in excellent form with the ball, but it is a very, very fine line whether you bowl well or not quite so well. That's the way it was at the close of play. England needing 48 more runs to win. That shouldn't be a problem with a good forecast there tomorrow.
BBC One highlights of the closing day of the first test at Edgbaston with Richie Benno.
Side who are well on their way to victory inside the distance. When Indian skipper Mohammad Azharuddin won the toss on Thursday, he had no hesitation in batting on what appeared to be a reasonable track, but then some fine catching dismissed the tourists for what seemed a cheap total.
That's got in, that's a good catch.
Oh, what a great catch. Brilliant catch. Oh, what a brilliant catch by Mike Atherton.
By the middle of day 2, 214 didn't seem such a bad score as England's wickets tumbled. But Nasser Hussain's maiden Test 100 was the difference between the two teams. Yesterday, a good bowling performance from Chris Lewis was eclipsed by a dazzling 120. One of the greatest innings I've seen this young man play. The pitch would have to do something very startling for England not to wrap up this match today. We welcome the highlights of the fourth day's play in this Cornhill Test match, the opening game of the three-match series between England and India. And this is the way the card looked at the start. India 214 and 219 all out. England 313 and 73 for 1. And they need 48 more runs to win. We join play now on this fourth morning with the third ball of the first over. Shabagal Srinath is the bowler. Michael Atherton is taking strike, and no runs have been added this morning.
First runs of the morning, tucked away by Michael Atherton. Paris Marbury gets a loosener with the chase, and England get 3.
Well, it's a very gentle pace, yet is Srinath. He's not worked up any sort of aggression at all. These first few deliveries are very ordinary medium pace. He's had a good night's sleep, and he ought to be able to bend his back and get a bit out of this pitch still, and maybe sneak himself a couple of wickets. Not going to change the course of the game.
Now, is that going to carry? It looks as though that's a very fine catch indeed. Nasser Hussain is out. Javagal Srinath had to make good ground forward to that ball and get his hands underneath it. He's claimed the catch. Nasser Hussain has just checked with the umpires that the ball did indeed carry. But he's out to the first ball of the morning from Venkat Prasad. Caught by the other fast bowler, Srinath, at long leg. And England are 77 for 2.
Well, if you remember, in his first innings, he had a dart at hook in early on. And like this, he got the ball too high in the air. And he was lucky it fell safe amongst two fielders. This time he was not so lucky. That's a good catch. You can see it's clear as a bell. He was even 12 inches off the ground by the time he caught it. And then he just fell forward. But Nasser was saying he'd not learnt from the first innings that early on he'd probably be a bit wiser to just leave the short ball alone till he gets in.
Well, it's always a fine line between a little bit of good luck. But you have to give full credit to Srinath. That was a very fine catch indeed. They're never easy to judge when it comes flat over 60 or 70 yards like that. Graham Thorpe is ready to receive his first ball.
Oh, that's a better shot. Far better than a hook shot. Beautifully played. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Bowler gave him a little bit of width. And he just nicely steered it. Just eased it using the pace.
Yes, that was a nice delivery for Graham Thorpe, just to ease himself off the mark. Well, that's through. Now they're asking the question. Darryl Hare, with that stone face of his, rejects the appeal.
Well, you can't tell from television replay whether there's a fine nick on these sort of balls or not. It wasn't the best shot. It was a bit indecisive and the face open. It's the sort of thing that happens when you're starting your innings again.
That's nicely played.
Well, Srinath gave him a lot of width, but what he did, he got his foot across and his body right into the shot. That left foot gets way, way across. It is a bit wide, but if you're going to go after a wide ball, then you must get your foot right over. And he did do it really well. He got it over, bent his body into the shot, so he was close to the ball. Maybe Rator at second slip learnt a little bit from that. He was just practicing what Michael Atherton had done and how he'd played it.
Given yet another opportunity straight away. This one hasn't been timed quite so well, but it's still going to be 4 runs. Srinath just over pitching.
He's played it well again as Michael Atherton. He's made sure he got right over there with the left foot. And that's something some of the top order Indian players could learn. Certainly the top 3, to get closer to the pitch of the ball.
Vociferous in their appeal, the Indians. But maybe a little over-optimistic.
They seem to put a little bit more in this one, but I think he did him at top of the thigh and be a problem for height. And I don't really think you could give that out. It's worth a shout.
That's small ball. That's in the end comfortably over his shoulder. Well, you're always allowed to grow into things, aren't you? No need to look quite so glum. England are on top. Well, that is well bowled. That's climbed viciously. According to David Shepherd, it's touched nothing on the way through.
Now that sort of delivery is definitely a reason to be wearing a face mask, I think. Though it's many years when I play we didn't have helmets, but I think if we'd have had them, this sort of delivery would have made me want to wear one. Now if you'd had a good night's sleep and you were looking to bat and you weren't quite wakened up, that would definitely awaken you and get your adrenaline going and the blood moving. That was a fierce delivery.
Even for Atherton, there is a man out at deep square leg. Michael Atherton not as keen to play the hook shot as either Nasser Hussain or Graham Thorpe, but that's what they've decided to do for him. Well, nearly. It was the same sort of shot as brought his downfall in the first innings. The inside edge coming back onto the pad.
See, the bowler's pitched way outside off stump and he opens up the offside. You see where that's pitching a long way. And the danger is an inside edge. He's going to gate himself again. He's trying to hit that through covers. And the ball's actually coming back to go inside the bat and pad.
Shouts from the outfield there. People who thought the ball had carried on the full to the field of Vikram Rathore. But it was a long bounce. 98 for 2, 44 to Atherton, and 5 to Thorpe. That's nicely played. It was a pretty good Yorker. But Atherton played it almost as though he was waiting for it, anticipating one right up on the block hole. 100 up.
Well, he spots this attempted Yorker from Venkatesh Prasad pretty early, gets into a nice position. There's no man at mid-off, so there were runs for the taking once he got bat on ball. He's just the type of player India need at the top of the order. Good, solid, gritty customer.
Not surprisingly, it's a sparse-ish sort of crowd here today. Those that had paid for their tickets in advance have decided to come.
I assume that's come off his helmet. Reminded me of the gesture Tendulkar made with the material on his shirt.
Yeah, this one just doesn't come up, and that's the problem the batsmen have had right through this game. The uneven bounce that was dug in by Javagal Srinath. And hitting Michael Atherton straight on the helmet.
A lot of people watching might say, gosh, it's a good thing they've got helmets, otherwise he'd have been badly injured. Promise you, if he didn't have a helmet on, he wouldn't have played the stroke. Half century for Michael Atherton. Good knock. Two outstanding innings in this match. Nasser Hussain's century, followed by that wonderful performance from Tendulkar yesterday. Atherton now a half century.
Always good when you're a captain to get your own form going. Michael Atherton had struggled in the 3 one-day games and also in the first innings of this test match, but he's fought it out. He's crafted, and this half century should do his confidence a world of good.
Just out of the reach of the man at wide mid-on, almost round at mid-wicket he is. It's a long run today because the and no fielding retrievers.
He's not afraid of playing this shot as Graham Thorpe. On this occasion, picks it up early from outside the off stump. In fact, hits it over mid-on.
Another no ball from Javagal Srinath.
Saurav Ganguly sliding here to stop this ball. In fact, it's after that time when he slipped. The last thing the Indians want is another injury. They've had enough. They've enough on their plate at the moment.
That's a good save. Saved him a chase as well.
In fact, Azharuddin there, lucky. He could have so easily twisted his ankle, because as he slid there, his foot landed on the ball.
Just one run to go for England. They're 120 for 2 now. Other than 53. Thorpe is on 16. And that's it. Winning run struck by Graham Thorpe. England win this opening test match of the Cornhill series by 8 wickets. And Atherton and Thorpe go off after turning in an excellent performance. That's a resounding win for England in a low-scoring game, and they have well over a day to spare. Night out yesterday for 14. Atherton remained unbeaten on 53 with Thorpe on 17, and Hussain dismissed this morning to that brilliant catch by Srinath down at long leg off Prasad's bowling. The bowling figures, just the 2 men used this morning. Srinath 14.5 overs, 3 maidens done for 47, and Prasad 2 for 50 from 14 overs and no maiden. They are the 2 best Indian bowlers at the moment. Kumble slightly out of touch in this match, but he'll be back in time for the Lord's Test. This is the way the whole thing finished up. 214 and 219 for India. England 313 and 121 for 2. Atherton, that half-century for him, and England won by 8 wickets. Well, Tony Lewis nominated Nasser Hussain as man of the match, and David Gower had a word with him after he spoke with the 2 captains.
Michael, congratulations on a resounding win. It seems at the moment that all your plans are actually going pretty well.
We've played some good cricket so far this summer, both in the one-dayers and here at Edgbaston. We've won 1 match, we need to win 2 to win the series, so that's our aim.
Yes, you've made different selections for the one-dayers and now for the Test match. 6 men new to this side from the side that last played Test cricket for England in Cape Town at the start of the year. Is this the way forward?
Well, we decided one of the main things at selection was to pick a good fielding side. That invariably involves some fresh legs and young faces, and I thought the fielding today was a real plus factor. In this game for us, we caught everything that came our way, got a run out of 2, and that was a real kind of factor in our win.
At the same time, of course, the batting and the bowling needs to be seen to as well. Some very good performances from especially the man of the match, Nasser Hussain.
Yeah, fantastic innings in real difficult circumstances, both for us as a team and him coming back into Test cricket after a 3-year absence. I thought it was a fantastic performance.
That number 3 position seems to have found a man to fill it.
Safe for a while.
Now, the bowlers, though, they'd also did a very good job on a pitch that did help them. You must be pleased, especially with Chris Lewis.
Yeah, we've explained to Chris that we want him to be our strike bowler, if you like, bowl him in short spells, no more than 5 or 6 overs, and to put a wholehearted effort into those short spells, and he's done that, and it's paid dividends.
Will he last? Because it's been the enigma, a word that's been used many a time in connection with Chris Lewis, that he's performed well on occasions but never sustained it. Do you think you've now found the secret? Do you think he's now a mature enough cricketer to sustain this sort of effort throughout the summer?
Well, I think that's the key, the fact that he is maturing as a person and as a cricketer. When you're out of Test cricket for a while, it tends to fire your enthusiasm to get back into the big arena, if you like. I think that's where he feels he belongs now, and hopefully he can put in the performances to sustain his place.
Now, do you think you've found the combination that will see you through the summer?
I hope so. I can't see there being too many changes for the next Test, but we don't want to be complacent. We've got to win the next game as well.
Well, there's a little bit of revenge here, isn't there? Because the last time these two countries met in India, it was a 3-0 drubbing by the home side there. You must be thinking in terms of that for this series.
Well, we'll need to win 2 games to win the series. 2 will suffice. Certainly the memories linger on from defeats in the past. Very different conditions in England to what we found in India. Hopefully that will be to our advantage.
OK, well, congratulations. We wish you well for the remaining 2 Test matches. If I can move now on to the Indian captain, Mohammad Azharuddin. Azhar, it seems to be a very slow start for your side over here this time.
Well, we won the toss, we did the right thing, batting, and I don't think we applied ourselves. I don't think we got a very big score in the first inning, because I've always maintained and believed that to win matches you have to have a big total on the scoreboard, otherwise it's very difficult.
I mean, if you won the toss again, you wouldn't make a different decision, I take it?
Well, it really depends on the wicket.
It's not been an easy wicket to judge, though, has it? Because you were very quick to say on the first morning of the match, OK, we'll bat. And it looked at that stage as though it was going to be a better pitch than we saw here last year. There's been so much talk about it. How would you rate this pitch at the end of the match?
Well, I think it was not a bad wicket. I think in the first 2 hours in the morning it did a bit, but after the lunch break, it was just like, we needed to just apply ourselves. We lost really very quick wickets in the first couple of hours almost on the first day and the second day as well, and it was on the third day as well, and it was very difficult to come back in a game when you have your main batsman out.
You had actually some problems in the preparation for the match as well. After the Tesco Trophy matches, your most experienced opening batsman, Navjot Singh Sidhu, decided that he'd had enough. That must have been a huge disappointment for you.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with the way he behaved, the way he went out. But we cannot do anything about it now, because it gives enough opportunities to the younger guys who are here to prove and establish their places.
But it's not an easy place, or these certainly weren't easy conditions for young and inexperienced players to come in and try and make a name for themselves in Test cricket.
Well, not really, but they have to learn at some time or the other. I think if they learn the hard way, I think the better for them in the future.
So you're happy to throw them in at the deep end?
Well, yes, right, they have to.
Now, your bowlers tried manfully to bridge the gap and make up the difference. You've got a lot of good work out of Srinath and Prasad. Are you in danger of overworking them?
Not really. I think the young guys, the young blokes, they really need to work hard, and if they can't work hard at this time, and they will never do it again, because I'm very pleased with the way they bowled. I think, as I've said, we didn't get many runs on the board for the bowlers to try their best. I think whatever limitations they had with the total, I think they really did a tremendous job, especially Srinath and Prasad.
In effect, though, it's a rebuilding of this Indian side. What are your hopes for the next 2 Test matches?
Well, yeah, we'll definitely try and be positive in our mind. As long as we play to our potential is more important, and to get a big score on the scoreboard.
OK, well, thanks very much. We look forward to a couple of good contests.
Thanks a lot.
Now, the final man of the match, Nasser Hussain. Nas, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, David. Thanks.
Now, we talked about the pitch before. You were one of the 2 men, really, who seemed to conquer it. Just how good or bad was it?
Well, it was a funny pitch, because if you put it in the right places, obviously with the uneven bounce, it was quite tricky. It was a difficult wicket to know which to hook, which not to hook, and all in that you have to try and get forward as well with a lot of pace in the wicket. But on the other hand, if you put it in the wrong areas and it didn't hit a crack or something, then it was a nice pitcher to hit it for 4. Yeah,
there were 1 or 2 that climbed past the nose or the helmet quite alarmingly. You seem to negotiate those pretty well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're going to get a few of those. Hopefully, you've got to have a bit of luck early on and try and miss them, and then cash in when you're in, especially with a hard new ball. It always got a little bit easier towards the end.
Now, you took on this number 3 position that has taken so much stick over the last few years. No one seemed to enjoy it much in the winter. You're happy you've conquered it now, are you?
Well, I'm far from conquered it. It's only 1 Test match, but that's where I'm going to play. I've not really viewed it as a dodgy number 3 position. That's where I've been batting for Essex. I'm obviously going to try and make it my position, but I'm learning all the time, and hopefully next Test I can get a few more runs, and that's why I'm just going to play a Test at a time, David.
Well, you've certainly started very well. You must be looking forward, though, to playing out the whole summer, really.
Well, yeah, hopefully, I've not played a Test match at Lords, which everyone tells me is a big thrill, so if selected, I'm looking forward to Lords, and then, as I say, I'll take it 1 Test at a time and try and get as many runs as possible.
Well, I'll promise you 2 things. Lords is a great place to play, and you will be playing. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, David. Thanks, mate.
Certainly no problems there for Nasser Hussain. Nice upbeat interview there with Michael Atherton, and understandably not so with Mohammed Azharuddin. Now, Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri are here with their ideas on the match and on the future.
Ravi, England won the Test match convincingly in the end. Where do you think it went wrong for India?
I think on the very first day, you can't win a toss, decide to bat and be bowled out on the first day. Not many teams have recovered from that. And India was no different. They were bowled out by tea time, just after tea, on the first day for 214. None of their top order really fired. Even Tendulkar didn't get a big knock in the first innings, and they found it very hard to recover from there.
England did get a good player to make 100, that was Hussain. To stay there, work at it, show a lot of patience and concentration, make the bowlers work hard for his wicket. That big 100, I feel, put England in a priceless position to win the match.
Yeah, it was a top innings, considering he was coming back into Test cricket. Srinath and Prasad were bowling beautifully. The wicket had something in it for the bowlers. The ball was nipping around, and I think Hussain showed that he has a wonderful temperament.
From an Indian point of view, would you say that the pitch was a fair pitch for a Test match or not?
Well, if India had got runs on the board, they could have well won this Test match. I think it was a fair pitch, this one.
So, like me, you think result pitches are better for Test cricket than flat batting pitches?
Oh, any day, because the crowds want to see that. I mean, the players like it because they know that there's a second chance in a Test match to come back, even if they've not done well in the first innings. You know, if they go out there and play well in the second innings and give their bowlers a total to bowl at, they can still come back into the game.
Good. Well, I hope nobody's going to slag off the groundsman for producing a bad pitch, because what he produced was better than last year against West Indies. It wasn't an easy pitch, but at least it was good, entertaining, interesting cricket. Now, if we take it from here that India have been outplayed, how do you think they can go in the next Test match? And don't give me just an optimistic view. Give me a sensible appraisal of whether they can improve.
Of course they can improve. Geoffrey, I'm an Indian cricketer, and I'll tell you what, I'm an optimist. I will look for the positive things that have come out of this Test match. None of the England batsmen have really dominated the Indian bowlers, particularly Prasad and Srinath. So that's one plus point.
Kumle's got to improve his bowling.
Kumble has to improve immensely. Not only Kumble, you need that third seamer to do the job of containment.
Ankola should come in.
Ankola, even Mamre. If they persist with Mamre, then I think Azharuddin should show a little more confidence in Mamre. If he doesn't have the confidence, then play Ankola.
But the big point for India is
the batting.
If your top three batsmen don't improve, Tendulkar's always going to be at the wicket at 20 or 30 for 2.
And then the bowler has a chance.
With a new ball.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I would slip in the left-hander in there at number 3.
Ganguly?
Ganguly. And maybe even ask Manjrekar to open the innings, you know, because he looked organised in that one-day international he played at Old Trafford. He looked decisive with his footwork. Plus, he's a left-hander. Left-handers have done well against England in the past. And I think if India can reach a stage of, say, 100 for 1 or 2, then it'll be a good Test match then.
My money's on England.
My money is on my side.
Geoffrey Boycott and Ravi Shastri there with their ideas on what went wrong for India and what they need to do to put it right. It was a great win for England. Some people say, OK, they're only winning at home. But bear in mind that happens to other teams as well. The Australians didn't win away for a long time until Mark Taylor took the side of the West Indies and regained the Frank Worrell Trophy, and then they were in the final of the World Cup. So their record overseas is not that good. They come here next year. But coming up, our cricket as regards Test matches. The next one is at Lords. That's the second Cornhill Insurance Test. England v India at Lords, June 20 to 24. Live coverage on BBC TV. But our next cricket is the B&H semi-finals. That's on Tuesday. Lancashire against Yorkshire up at Old Trafford. Northants against Warwickshire at Northamptonshire. Highlights Tuesday, BBC 2 at 8 p.m. Well, any game that finishes as early as this one did might be said to be a bit of a disappointment, but that wasn't so. There was some exciting cricket, thrilling stuff at times, all the way through.